What do you got? All right. Welcome, plastic people. Tonight we're going to work on the XY axes and get the drive running. So let's see how well that works out tonight. Looks like we are live. Actually, let me double check it on my Surface just to make sure. I need to bring up the manual there anyway. So this is the manual. I did link it in the description. So we will be working on the XY motion. So we'll be starting here and see where we're at. I did run into one problem earlier where I was prepping all of the parts for tonight by just reaming out the holes, and I ended up finding out that I only printed one set of the front idlers. So I had to print out another set during Steve's stream. But I now have two sets to worry about it, other than the fact that the set that I printed today is black instead of blue. I found I was out of the correct filament, so I'll have to reprint them again in the right filament later this week when the replacement spool I ordered from Amazon shows up. I think it said Thursday. Pretty late, but I'm used to getting things a lot quicker than that. So we'll see how it works out. All right, so double checking on my Surface, making sure that I am up. It does say live. And I got a frisky puppy. Wants to play with her hedgehog. All right, let's put it on there. The dog's hedgehog. She'll probably run back and forth a little bit, but that's okay. If she wants to come over, I'll throw it around for her while we're doing this. Doesn't bother me. She enjoys it. That's the big thing. All right, getting the manual up here so that we can work on this. All right, docs, XY motion. There we go. So I'm out of room on my little table here. 8 M3 by 10s. That's these here. Let's turn this thing around a bit. And I've got the wrong bit on. Try to remember which one it was for this one. That one there. So it says to A drive lower frame. Should be that one there. Okay. So it looks like it should be this one here over here. And then this one. I think it's this one here on this side, just like that. Okay. Now the real fun is going to be getting the screws in here. So the way we were doing it last time worked out very well, so let's just go ahead and do it the same way this time. Use one of my little Allen keys and move them over. Okay. All right, well, with the way this is sitting, I think I'm going to do this. At least get them started manually. Not as nice on the bottom one here. There went my screen. It's a lot easier to do it with it up top. Okay. Oop. Just knock that right on over. That is wrong. Well, might as well start the day off with the wrong one, right? Maybe get the one mistake out of the way. Hopefully just the one mistake out of the way right off the bat. And that might be the wrong, that's the wrong extrusion. Okay, there we go. Those are right. That's wrong extrusion. That says to center the extrusion. And mount it. With 2 on each mount. Okay, there's those. Nuts. This goes in underneath, and I don't see how we're going to mount that when it doesn't call out preloading. Don't see preload. There's those. Okay. So, we've got these mounted. Then it says to center the extrusion on there using 2 M3x10, which I've got sitting there. Then move on to the B, then the A. Then the tensioners are, I've already done the heat sinks, or heat sets. So they're set. So then we do the B idler, then the A idler. Attach Z rear brackets. So this goes on. And then you use M3x6. But I'm not seeing where it says to preload the 2 screws for this one. So let's get that done before we put this on. So we'll need 6 total. Okay, so there's that. Need one on each side of this as well. All right. Set it up this way. I think that'll be the easiest way to get these on. Then I can worry about centering it again. Once I get these seated. needs to move a couple millimeters tops anyway. I guess the dog doesn't want to be social. She's hiding under the desk. Well, that didn't work well. Almost out of hex nuts, so we must be getting close to not needing them anymore. Okay, now we have to center it. Well, that looks pretty good. About 1.5 millimeters on each side. Check it, and we should still be about 1.5 millimeters on each side. So that worked out good. And this one does not seem to be pulling up. It doesn't feel like it's caught. It feels more like it's trying to screw into the plastic than into a nut. Make sure I got the right piece. They look almost identical. It's always possible I printed out the wrong pieces as well. I tried to print the entire AB assembly as one, so I didn't have to worry about going through that possibility, but it is always a possibility, I guess. Let's double check it. Oh, hey, Derek. See, AB frame, upper, lower. Check these with the parts that I've got. All right, that looks like that one. It looks like. That's that one there. That is the A-frame upper, A-drive upper. A-drive lower goes to the right, so that goes to the right. Upper. That looks like the A lower. So that's that one that I should be working on. Okay. This is B upper, so B lower is the one that is already attached in the right spot. So that's good. All right. Well, I guess they're going to move any way I do them, so let's just put one in this one to keep them from moving too far. Well, now we got somebody home. I don't know if it came through on there, but the garage door just went up. The dog shot out from underneath the desk. My wife getting home. dog had brought her hedgehog to me. I threw it once and she chewed on it for a few minutes and then it was basically forgotten. Okay. All right. Little fiddliness, but it's not too bad. There we go. And we should still be about 1.5 on each side. Good. All right, let me go check on everything on that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Get this going still. So, those are done. I've got this inside. I did go ahead and put the spacer in for the upcoming step. So now I need GT16T and a NEMA 14 stepper motor. That would be one of these. GT. Where's there? That's 20s. Did say 16 tooth, so I am not seeing 16 tooth. And I know I counted everything and made sure everything was here. That's the Bondtech gears. GT220. GT16T. Of course, it could be actually a 20 and might not be reflecting it right. Let me double check the bomb. So, double check the bomb and make sure that it's not a yeah, so GT 20s is what we need, not, let's open this in a new tab. So it looks like I've got the right parts. Manual just hasn't been updated to reflect the GT20s instead of the GT16s. All right. The right bit in here. Get some thread lock. This one goes down. And this one says 1.2 mil of clearance. This is our B motor. I don't know if it's the same. Doesn't look like these will fit quite the same anyway from my V0 builds, so that doesn't look right. Make a mess with a stick of Loctite. Definitely don't want to stick, don't want to put these in without Loctite. These are definitely going to be moving a lot. Okay, 1.2 millimeter clearance. And I'll adjust it later after belts are on anyway. So this should be 1.5. So let's get it there. So I'm going to use my 1.5 mil Allen key. Since it says 1.2, we'll just do 1.5. Tighten that one down right on the flat. Tighten the other one down. And then later, after we've got the belts on, we'll adjust that so the belts ride correctly. Okay, so we've got that step done. Now we need 6 623s. There's 6 of them. M3 washers. Let's see, where are the washers? M3 slim washers. So 6 of them. And I've got 6 of those. Okay, good. And then, let's see, 4 M3 by 10 I've already got open. One M3 by 8. So it'll actually be 5 by 25. 35, 25s. It looks like 5 of them. And then my B motor, okay. And the upper assembly. Oh. And I lost a rubber foot. Let's just take them all off, and it didn't call for them yet anyway. No, I can go to the camera again, can't I? All right. All right, that way I don't have to worry about them. All right, rubber feet are off. So now they're saying attach the motor with the 1 3x8, left side of the motor for the wires. Okay, so this way here. The M3x8. Ooh, that might not fit in there. No, that's not going to fit well, so see if this does. Only just. And that has a lot of play. It feels like it's bottoming out. And that is an 8 mil. I wonder wonder if I need to use an M3x6. Because that is bottoming out. Well, they give you extra screws. And I think there'll be enough. Yeah, that looks better. It might still not be, still might bottom out before it actually secures it right. Oh, nope, that's good. All right. So that's good. And then it says use 3 M3x25s to attach the upper frame. So that'll be this one. And I need to preload at least the 2 nuts for this piece. Should have done that before I put the motor in. It's a tight fit otherwise. Tight enough. I'm going to need 2 for the other side and 2 for the, oh no, I think it's just 2 for the other side. I'll double check before putting it on just to make sure. I know one of the last steps is to put the Bowden coupler on, but that might be up top. I'll have to double check and make sure. No, it's got to be here because of the panel. I might have missed it. Is always entirely possible. All right, so this is this side here. Three by 25. Okay. May have to break out the little Weeha tool. The screwdriver doesn't quite fit in there. All right, so that's done. All right, 3 by 10 to here. And again, we'll just do this the same way as the other ones. That worked out quite well. My little Allen key is just magnetic enough to push these little nuts around, which gets to be annoying when you're just trying to get them in just the right spot. Okay, those two are done. These two done. And then I think the next is to build the bearing stack. I think that's the right one. Maybe it is. Definitely don't want to use that long a screw for that. Give everything good tightening and all right, so that's in back here. So that takes care of these four. All right, now for a fiddly part. I'm sure. Let's see, I don't know how good the camera is going to be here. Turn that and does you want to focus? Well, let's see if we can get the other one set well. Try this one, not that one, this one. May not be able to get a great angle on it. So, bearing stack of an M3 washer, 2 bearings, and then another washer. So your typical Voron bearing stack, bearing, washer, or washer, bearing, bearing, washer. Let's see if we can build it down here first. There's no way to slide something in to hold them and then out. So let's do it this way. Let's see if this will work. Now, at least the little washers are magnetic. And very bouncy. I'm wondering, now this together. Let's try this. Let's see if we can get it together the way the manual shows. Try that first, and then I think on the other side what I'm going to do is try to put it in before before putting the top piece on. Because this is just going to be too fiddly trying to get this in perfectly in this tight little space. Let's get some threads started. This does thread into the plastic, so of course you'll want to be careful with that. Okay, let's see if that works. And I just have to get the top one back on there. Feels like the bottom one's in. And as tiny and thin as these little things are, definitely need to loosen these up. I'm too tight, so I can't get it to squeeze in there like I need it to. Of course, all the tools I've got are magnetic. Even these little weehaws seem to be magnetic, so don't really want to use them on these little washers that are ferrous. And my nails are chopped. So let's try to use one of these washers to push the washer. Definitely will do the stack before I put the top plate on the other side. That's a bit of a pain otherwise. So that takes care of that one. Next one, 2 more bearing stacks. So washer, bearing, bearing, washer, washer, bearing, bearing, washer. that one looks like I can this one does have a hole, and it looks like it goes through, but I don't. Let's see if I've got a M2 that's long enough. M3s, M2 by 20. I think that'll work. Or even just the M2 Allen key. So that hole, that goes all the way through. So then we can just put our washer in there. Bearing in there. Next bearing. See if we can get these next two washers up there. One went through. Get these all loosened up again. So we can get these last two bearings on. And that's through. Where did I put my washers? All right, so I'm gonna find where I put those washers so I can kind of push this piece through with another washer so I can get it hooked up. There. Don't want to use something ferrous. There's just not enough room. But if I slide this down just enough, let's see if I've got the angle right there. Sorry about my hands getting in the way, kind of tight right here to to work. Okay. That looks like it's in. And I'm missing a 25. Let's go back to that one. So now I got my well, there went that. Let's see. Well, that'll fit, but only just. Drop down another size. Wondering if I forgot to remount this one hole. That looks like that's the problem, is I forgot to remount that one hole. It's just a little bit too tight. We're definitely building these before putting this on, although I don't know how I'm going to hold it up on this inside one. I may just have to build it and set it there when I get this on. All right. These don't need to be tight because we want the bearings to be free anyway. And they are screwing into plastic, and you do not want to strip that out too awful much. Well, that's one side done. There we go. Make sure that's not too tight. Make sure your bearings can move. They all look good. All right. Now, where are we at? Let's look at this one. So, all right, so we're good there. If I can remember which camera is which. So that, it'll focus, looks like that. All right, so we are good on that. So now we want to do the next with the next motor. Before I start on that, I'm going to run downstairs real quick and check on dinner. Okay, oh, dinner's almost ready. Let's get this next set done. Oh, I need a switch. Move this out of the way. So, right now, it is calling for adding the Y end stop switch, which will go on here. And go this way. And that was 2x10 self-tappers. Sure, empty. But I've got plenty of them. 2x10 self-tappers. Here we go. And these are Phillips head. Tiny little Phillips head. All right. Tiny little Phillips head. Okay, so 24 gauge wire. Says I need 60 millimeters in length. Well, these are longer than 60. I'm just gonna do that. I'll cut to length later. Actually, I guess I can just use one of these. They're both. Let's use this one. Just use some 60 millimeters. Well, that's seems really short, but that's okay. There might be a little less, only 2 millimeter. These ends here from Vector 3D, they just snap right on there with magnets. Let you choose. I've got the 2 millimeter version on there. That might not be enough. Let's get longer. So the kit he's got comes with this little tray plus the different distance, and they just sit in there with magnets as well. I think it was like a $4 STL download, something like that. It's like, yeah, that's worth it for me. Now, for my horrendous soldering skills, I have no other way to really call them anything but that. I need to work on it. We want to be in the 2 NC position, which should be the 2 outer contact. And I'll just practice the hold your breath while you solder maneuver. And I'm just going to use this same one, and I'll cut it later. I'll loop it around, I'll cut it later, and it'll work out fine. Well, that's good news. It's definitely attached. Yes, and I've got helping hands on the floor behind me, but I'm just going to do it this way. Just for a couple of them. I'm not going to mess with it too much for that. Just 2 of these real quick like this. All right, so those are both attached well. Turn that off. So we'll go back here. So I've got these outside 2 soldered. Now we need same thing we needed before, 6 washers, 6 bearings, 4 M310s, 1 M38, and 325s. Okay, or 525s. Okay. Let's get motor mount. Well, I see this one says to add the motor, line it approximately 1.2 mil clearance. When we come down here, align it with 4.8 from the stepper. Okay. Let's see. They just don't have the pictures. I just had that. I just had that pulley. I thought I did. Do not see it in my trash bin. Thought I had it right here. Well, let's get our screws. I need 1 M3x8. Oh, that's an M36. Oh no, I needed the 6 anyway because the 8s were too long. And then we needed 5 of these. Four of these. Six of those. Six of those. Okay. All right. Always double check when you get your bin right underneath. And I don't see it in the bin. I don't feel it in the bin. Not using that anyway. Okay, let's bring this back up. I don't see it anywhere with it. That was the container it was in, but it's not there anymore. Didn't drop it in one of those. Nope. Put it back on the desk. For whatever reason, I put it back there. probably just to get it out of my way, and I'm not working back there, so not looking back there. All right. It says 5.8 mil, I think. 4.8 mil. Well, let's just use the 5 mil as a spacer then. Let's get that close to my flat. And again, we're going to adjust these in a later step as well. So now we get this one up here. Let's do this cam if we can. All right. So I've already got the M36 in there. Oriented right. And we'll slip that up there and tighten it down. Now, should be this one. Let's see where we're going. That's there. All right, the inner one there. Let's also make sure that this one so that should be good. Okay. Make sure that's reamed out, and it is. And then that one is reamed out, and it is. All right, so it's going to be washer, bearing, bearing. All right. We'll do washer, bearing, bearing, washer, washer, bearing, and I put one upside down. You always got to double check it. And there went that bearing stack, so. Let's get this one in. There we go. Okay. One of the washers fell on the floor. I'll find it later. They give extras. Let's use a thicker one. I'll still stack them on here, and I can stack that right there. Maybe. That one is too thick. All right. That has to be there. I'm not seeing a good way to route these wires. At least not that doesn't seem to interfere with the pulley. That'll have to work. Doesn't mention it, but we'll bend those down and around, and that'll work out fine. All right. This is definitely a lot better than going for these than the last was. So let's get this mounted with these. So I'm not sure. Let's change camera here. If you can see, so I've got an Allen key holding that stack and an Allen key from the bottom holding the other stack. So what I'll do there, get these in here, at least started into the motor. take this long one here and I'll let this drop. Then we'll just feed it in behind. And then I'm through. I hit plastic. It just threads into the plastic. And then we'll just tighten it down. A little cumbersome, but my bearing stacks are intact and how they need to be. Let's see, I'm missing a screw for here. I think that is supposed to be 25. Now, it's a little more fun because I don't have any way to push through, so I've just got to hope that it's all lined up when I pull out that Allen key. There we go, which now it seems to be. Of course, I did not remount that hole because it needs to tap with this screw going into it. Now it's going in quite well. And there we go, and bearings are good, bearings are good. I'll tighten down these ones that go into the motor. That one doesn't seem like it's caught. There we go. All right, that one's good. That one. Nope, that one needs to come out a little bit more before I completely pinch this wire off. Bring it out. Definitely don't want to have to pull it back up and out of here to resolder those wires. And all I did for those was, once I got them soldered and got it in place, I just bent the leads down so they're out of the way of the pulley, not getting in my way. Should be safe for all of it. Now let's get these last ones in. And I did ream out all of these holes, knowing that they were going to be through holes. Okay. All right. And I think, there we go, that's good. That took a lot longer than I was expecting, so I think I'm going to call it a night here. Those are still going good, and that looks pretty right. So we've got our pulley lined up with the top. I'll have to drop it a little, it looks like. And then this one over here, lined up with the bottom. We may have to adjust it a little. But, so that's the AB drives are done. And we are up to this point here. I've already got the heat sets in. I'm gonna have to reprint 2 of these in the right color. I did print them out in black, but I think I'll just, since it's gone a little longer than I wanted to, or this took a little longer than I wanted tonight, I think what I'll do is I will wait till I get the new spool of the blue, print that, and then we'll start with the front idlers and move on from there. Next weekend, I think what I'll do, rather than Sunday stream, I think I'll do a Monday stream. That way I'm not worried about, you know, Steve's going late, I'm starting early, no conflict there. So rather than do a Sunday night stream, I'll do a Monday night stream. I don't know of anybody that does Monday night streams, so that'll leave me free to not have to worry about what am I watching or what is anybody else watching, and we'll be able to go a little bit more on from there and see what we get. But thank you guys for watching. So next week, we'll pick up right here on the idler tensioners and the front idlers. There's still a good bit of this to go. Some more fussy bearing stacks to mess with. I've already got this spacer in between. And then I've got these printed out. So there's the piece that needs the 2 top. The Bowden goes underneath the back, so that goes up under here. So I'll have to double check and make sure. I'm pretty sure I got 2 in there, but yeah, I've got 2 in there. So we're good on that. We'll get at least through this done. This is the umbilical mount and the Bowden mount. We'll get through that done. I'm not going to put the bed on till last, so we'll probably do the x-axis and finish up the XY motion next Monday. I am not sure the time, but probably going to try about a 4 o'clock, I think. I'd like to be a little earlier and see how we go. So we'll end it there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Y'all have a great rest of your day or evening, whatever it is, and I'll see you on next stream.